Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Spacing Out. I'm Jason McClellan.
And I'm Maureen Elsberry. Thanks for joining us. It's
time for us to get you caught up on some of the stories about space and UFOs that have made headlines recently. A large crowd stopped to observe a fleet of UFOs in the sky above Pereira, Colombia on Friday, November 8th.
A video of the event was uploaded to YouTube with the following brief translated description. This happened about 5 p.m. the day November 8th, 2013. Pereira sky was filled entirely white dots. Awesome.
UFO website theufotimes.com describes this armada of UFO orbs caught the whole city by surprise. These orbs are not often seen, but when they are, it seems that the UFOs are certainly not shy and not trying to hide.
The video shows hundreds of bright orbs lazily drifting in the evening sky over the city. Next, the video cuts to a shot of pedestrians stopping to view the aerial objects. This back and forth between the orbs and the crowd of onlookers is repeated several times. But there is never a continuous shot of the crowd and the orbs. There is always an edited cut in between. This detail led some to suspect that the video could be a manufactured hoax.
But according to Colombian newspaper La Tarde, the fleet of UFOs did in fact appear over Pereira. The newspaper clarified, however, that these orbs were not extraterrestrial. La Tarde reports that 400 students from the Andean Region University Foundation tied potatoes to balloons on November 8th as a symbolic act to protest against healthcare reform. La Tarde addressed the confusion caused by the video, simply stating, "It is clear that the objects seen in the sky were the potato bombs."
A scientist recently proposed the establishment of a lottery bond as a means to provide funding for the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, or SETI.
Jacob Hack-Misra of the Blue Marble Space Institute of Science is the scientist behind this proposal. He details his proposed SETI lottery bond in an article in the Journal of the British Interplanetary Society. He states, "The SETI lottery bond is a fixed-rate perpetual bond with a lottery at maturity, where maturity occurs only upon discovery and confirmation of extraterrestrial intelligent life. Investors in the SETI lottery bond purchase shares that yield a fixed rate of interest that continues indefinitely until SETI succeeds, at which point a random subset of shares will be awarded a prize from a lottery pool. SETI lottery bond shares are also transferable so that investors can benefact their shares to kin or trade them in secondary markets. The total capital raised this way will provide a fund to be managed by a financial institution with annual payments from this fund to support SETI research, pay investor interest, and contribute to the lottery fund."
Business Insider notes that what makes these bonds unusual is that they assert with certainty that we will find alien life in the future. Several of Hack-Misra's other projects have made headlines because they relate to contact with intelligent extraterrestrials. In June 2013, he announced the Lone Signal project that allows individuals to send messages into space. The initiative is based on the belief that crowdsourcing messages to intelligent life, or METI, is the ideal approach to establishing a stable, cohesive, and well-resourced interstellar beacon on Earth.
Hack-Misra was also one of the authors of a 2011 paper published in the journal Space Policy, calling for the establishment of an extraterrestrial communication protocol to improve the likelihood of messages being understood by intelligent extraterrestrials.
Hack-Misra believes the SETI lottery bond plan could generate several to tens of millions of dollars annually for SETI research. But Business Insider pessimistically states, given our current zero knowledge about alien life, these lottery bonds would probably be a hard sell, but they're a fun way to help underfunded space research.
When a newspaper in the English region of North Devon published a story about a recent UFO sighting in the area, others contacted the paper to report their own recent sightings.
On Sunday, November 24th, the North Devon Journal ran a story titled, "Is This a UFO Spotted in the Skies Above North Devon?" that featured an interesting photo taken by journal photographer Rob Tibbles.
Tibbles had taken photos at the Fullabrook wind farm. When he reviewed his photos later, he noticed a strange object above one of the turbines. The North Devon Journal describes the UFO as gray in color, quite large, and of an oval shape.
The journal contacted local search and rescue, but no UFO sightings in the area had been reported to them that day. But search and rescue did point out that they conducted a training exercise that day, so they could have been responsible for the object in the photo, but could not be certain.
Since the story and the photo appeared in the North Devon Journal, others have contacted the journal to report other recent sightings of unidentified aerial objects. Although there were several different sightings reported, some witnesses may have seen the same or a similar UFO as the one photographed by Tibbles.
Erica Whiteley contacted the journal to report that her husband also saw a UFO above Fullabrook. She reported, "He said it was unusually bright and of similar shape to that in your picture, and he was joking around saying he had seen a UFO. When I saw your photo, I couldn't believe it. I thought he was just over-exaggerating."
Jacqueline Leighton Boyce also contacted the journal with her sighting report, describing that she saw a strange, very large, bright thing in the sky. The journal explains that Boyce filmed the light and her friend then slowed down the video to track the movement of the light. According to the North Devon Journal, people across the region have contacted the journal to report strange aerial objects during the past weeks.
A U.S. scientist wants to detect Mars life and teleport it to Earth, and he already has the technology to do it.
J. Craig Venter, Ph.D., is a leading scientist in the field of genomic research. He's also the founder and CEO of Synthetic Genomic Incorporated, a privately held company dedicated to commercializing genomic-driven solutions to address global needs such as new sources of energy, new food and nutritional products, and next-generation vaccines.
He and his research team have been field testing technology that he believes will revolutionize the search for extraterrestrial life. According to the South China Morning Post, not only does Venter say his invention will detect and decode DNA hiding in otherworldly soil or water samples, proving once and for all that we are not alone in this universe, it will also beam the information back to Earth and allow scientists to reconstruct living copies in a biosafety facility.
He hopes to detect Martian life and bring it to Earth using a digital biological converter or biological teleporter. The Indian Times describes Dr. Venter's machine would merely create a copy of an organism from a distant location, more like a biological fax machine. Storing genetic code in a computer and transmitting it, just like any other data, is the basic idea.
Dr. Venter's team and scientists from NASA's Ames Research Center recently conducted field testing of this technology in the Mojave Desert south of Baker, California, a dry environment which is similar to Mars. Researchers tested the unit that would, in theory, send data back from Mars. But according to Dr. Venter, a prototype of the unit that would receive the transmitted data here on Earth exists as well and will be available for sale next year.
India Times explains that this machine will be able to automate the synthesis of genes by stringing small pieces of DNA together to make larger ones. With this technology, a person with a bacterial infection might be sent the code to recreate a virus intended to kill that specific bacterium. Venter optimistically surmises that this technology will enable doctors to send an antibiotic as an email and allow diabetics to download insulin from the internet.
Dr. Venter's ideas are outlined in his book, Life at the Speed of Light, From the Double Helix to the Dawn of Digital Life. And I think this is causing a lot of controversy, but it's really interesting ideas because this has a lot of connotations for the future, not only for Mars colonization, but for medicinal uses here.
Right, and where the controversy comes in, for sure, is the potential uses by bad guys for this.
Bioterrorism.
Really bad stuff. If you know, send gives a new definition or connotation to email virus, you know, but it's not like you can just send somebody an email and infect them with some germ. They would have to have the machine there to actually encode it and make whatever's being sent.
It's basically 3D printing out these vaccines, which could be, if we get colonists on Mars and, you know, there's different illnesses, perhaps that's another way to transport medicine to colonists on Mars. But another interesting thing, and what they're doing with this field testing, is testing out this certain organism which can live in extreme temperatures but produces oxygen. So the idea is, in the future, colonists will eventually want to farm outside on Mars. And if we were to make Mars habitable for human life by, you know, trying to grow this bacteria by sending a DNA copy to Mars, that could be possible. And within 100,000 years, we could dramatically alter the environment on Mars, which is an exciting idea, but also a terrifying idea because who are we to destroy?
Sure. There's so many possibilities here. The technology sounds absolutely amazing, incredibly futuristic, but it already exists for the most part. So they're testing it. We'll see where it goes. It has some amazing potential uses, but like we said, also some bad ones. And hopefully it will enable, as he hopes, scientists to be able to discover life on other worlds. But then taking it a step further and talking about discovering intelligent extraterrestrial life, what do you think about this alien bond, this SETI bond idea to raise money for SETI?
I guess it's an interesting idea. I don't really know how far it's going to go. I personally wouldn't do that because the likelihood that, you know, I would love to fund space research, but I, for instance, don't have the money to just go, okay, I have no idea when we'll see the return on this, but...
And I think it depends on getting a number of people to participate in this, and I don't know how many people would be willing to do that. I'm confident that intelligent extraterrestrial life will be discovered, but I don't think the SETI fund really is a way to do that. And there are a lot of people who have their grumbles about how worthwhile funding SETI actually is. Many people feel that there are other better ways to look for intelligent extraterrestrial life. Right. Well, that may be true. I think those other things take more money and perhaps other technology that isn't as easily available than just listening for signals.
Yeah, well, to each their own. People want to invest in it, go ahead.
Yeah, for sure. There are plenty of people who support it, plenty of people who want to support something else. So this is just another interesting idea, and I love what Dr. Jacob Hack-Misra is doing. He's doing so many of these interesting, creative ideas to try to draw attention to it and get people interested in alternative ways into the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. So good luck to him and his future projects. I know he'll have more. But that is all for this episode of Spacing Out. Remember, you can visit openminds.tv for all the latest news. And if you're a podcast listener, go to openminds.tv/radio and check out Open Minds UFO Radio.
Make sure to click on the like button if you enjoyed today's show, and remember to subscribe to our channel. Also, don't forget to register for the 2014 International UFO Congress. This is the largest annual UFO conference in the world, and it's all happening February 12th through the 16th in Fountain Hills, Arizona. All that info and the speaker schedule, etc., is all at ufocongress.com. Thanks again for joining us today. I'm Maureen Elsberry.
And I'm Jason McClellan. We will see you in the future.
If you have a UFO sighting or something you would like to report to Open Minds, you can go to our website at openminds.tv and click the contact button to send us your request. Or you can email us at contact@openminds.tv. You can also call us at 1-877-UFO-0110. That's 1-877-836-0110.